Hello there again. I'm Brittany. This is Mommy Vapes. Today I wanted to film a video kind of discussing e-liquids. There's a ton of information out there on actual e-liquids that go into your e-cigarette or mod device, and most people that are experienced with vaping after they've quit smoking kind of know the ins and outs. But this is a beginner's channel, so I figured I would touch on a beginner's topic, and that is e-liquid today. Now, to start out with, I will say that I try my best to refer to it as e-liquid instead of e-juice, because if you couldn't tell already, I'm a mom. I have 2 small children in the house, and they love juice. So if I tell them or even refer to my e-liquids as juice, then I feel like that makes it all the more appealing to them. And even though I love vaping, I'm so happy to have this lifestyle. It's not something that I want them to be comfortable enough with that they are intrigued and enticed to handle any of my gear or my liquids. So before we get into the ingredients of e-liquids, why don't we touch on the topic of safety? I actually just got done watching Suck My Mod's vlog where they talk about battery safety and childproof e-liquid caps, and that kind of got me thinking. I actually have found I don't prefer childproof caps versus non-childproof caps, only because I like to think I use common sense when it comes to nicotine liquids, e-liquids, and I tend to keep my stuff like up and out of their reach anyway. The closest access they would ever have to my liquids or my mod, this isn't even my mod, but my e-cigarettes, are when I'm walking around with them. Everything goes in a cabinet, in a hutch, high off the ground, where I'm home all day with them. I know what they're doing and I know where they're at, and I don't leave things down where they can reach them or get to them. I do have my 2 e-VODs here behind me. That really is just for the sake of filming. I don't leave them there all day, and actually my tanks are empty. I need to change the coils in them. Anyway, back to the point. E-liquids. Use your smarts. Be safe. Vape happy. As far as just general ingredients go for e-liquids, everybody knows most of this information, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway. There are 3 main ingredients, and then there's 4 main ingredients, but what actually makes an e-liquid is propylene glycol, referred to as PG, vegetable glycerin, referred to as VG, and nicotine, which you can get in different doses depending on your needs. You know, coming down from smoking, I actually never really, after I picked up my e-VODs, I didn't buy any more cigarettes. That was it for me. In my mind, I said, I'm going to start vaping, I'm going to quit smoking, no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no both worlds here. It's one or the other. And I want to quit smoking. I'm a mom. My life is valuable, and I want to be there for my children well into the future. So, no more cigarettes for me. The nicotine strengths you pick based on how heavy of a smoker you were, or, you know, and then eventually the goal for me is to just trail down that nicotine dosage, and currently I think I'm like on a 6, and I can tell the difference whenever I vape like a 12 milligram nicotine, which is my husband's preference, because it sends me into a nicotine buzz, and I have to take a break and just drink some water for a while. So anyway, that's kind of all I have to say about nicotine. As far as I've got notes that I made, so that's why I'm looking down here. Propylene glycol is an ingredient that's actually in quite a bit of everything we use every single day. Of course, there have been studies, and then there's a whole FDA crap going on. I'll just tell you what I know about propylene glycol. It is a very watery substance. It is a clear substance, and I've heard that you want to get the USP grade propylene glycol, which is US pharmaceutical grade. That is the ingredient that helps kind of carry a flavor in the e-liquids. That's also what gives you the throat hit, the sensation when you take a pull and you get that punch in the back of your throat like you get when you smoke a cigarette. That's because of the PG. I have heard some people talk about having a sensitivity to propylene glycol, so there's a lot of vapors out there who try and stick with higher VG, which we'll get into now. Vegetable glycerin is a very thick substance. It's also clear. You also want to get the USP grade propylene glycol, whether that be just looking on the ingredients on your bottle of e-liquid you buy, or if you plan in the future to start making your own. Make sure that you're getting the USP grade, not the like cosmetic. I think there's like a cosmetic grade which probably just has a little bit more junk in it. The vegetable glycerin is almost the consistency of a maple syrup. Maybe not quite. I mean, it's thick. You know, it's pretty thick. So I have learned that a lot of your general tanks, maybe not so much the Nautilus is what I'm trying to say, but the EVOD tanks, those coils aren't built to carry high VG juices. Alright, so VG actually will mute your flavors, whereas PG is a flavor carrier. VG will kind of dilute your flavor. So if I'm thinking about this correctly, if you are going to attempt to make your own, or even the ones you buy, the flavor ratio in a higher VG blend would be stronger, I think. Don't quote me on that. Like I said, I'm just a newbie, but I'm trying to like think through the process as I go. Anyway, so we've covered the 3 base ingredients. Now we move on to flavor. I have a bottle of Halo. I believe it's the Tribeca blend, and I'm reading the ingredients on the back. Pretty simple. On most bottles that you purchase of e-liquid, you'll see the ingredients, or you'll find them on their website. I recommend that you know what you're vaping before you actually vape it. On the back of the bottle, it does mention natural and artificial ingredients, or flavorings, I'm sorry, natural and artificial flavorings, and then in parentheses it says GRAS. So before I vape it, I want to know what that means. That actually stands for generally recognized as safe by the FDA, since it is a food flavoring. Most of your flavorings you get are food flavorings that are used in candy making and things like that, and baking, have already gone through some sort of FDA regulation, I guess is how you would word it. So whenever you see the GRAS on anything, it means generally recommended as safe, obviously, or recognized, sorry, generally recognized as safe. With all the controversy over vaping versus just smoking cigarettes, oh my god, did you just hear my shoulder pop? That's what happens when you get old. I lost my train of thought. Oh, generally recognized as safe by the FDA. That is for consumption, you know, mouth to stomach consumption, not inhaling. So, I don't know, use your judgment, think of that however you want, you know. Moving on, I personally have not tried an e-liquid that has food coloring in it, that I'm aware of anyway. Not that it has been listed or brought to my attention. I do know that there are multiple companies out there that are starting to make their liquids with food coloring just to give them a nice, kind of cool color. I mean, I'm not going to lie, this Aspire Nautilus this tank would look pretty freaking awesome with like a blue or a red coloring. It's just not something I've tried, so I don't have any recommendations or information on that. It is food coloring. Everybody knows what food coloring is. Use your discretion. If you feel like vaping it, probably isn't gonna hurt you, but I bet you it's still better than a cigarette. So, what do I have next on my list? Steeping and breathing. Oh boy. I see there's so much information. Again, I'm just like repeating things that have been said over and over again in other videos and websites and what have you. As far as like steeping and breathing your e-liquid, is there any merit to it? I don't know. I think that's a personal preference thing. If I purchase an e-liquid from a store or a website and I bring it home, I don't go through steeping and breathing. I just use it right out of the bottle. When I make it at home, which I have done a couple rounds of, and I plan to do some more, I steep. I don't know if I do it in the traditional sense, but I mix it all together really well, and I might let it sit out for a couple hours before I bottle it and put it away. Like I said, with the children and the safety, I'm not about to just open bottles of e-liquid and let them sit on a shelf somewhere. Not only do we have kids, I've got cats who get on everything. I've got a dog who barks when an ant farts and runs through the house, and it's not something that I care to leave around and out in the open long enough. So, take it or leave it. Steep if you want, you don't have to. I don't know. That's kind of my random, wow, I went very random on that, talk for Wednesday. Wow, today is Wednesday. I need to, just give me a sec. I'm vaping on some blackberry today. Homemade by the hubby, and it is freaking delicious. It's a 12 milligram though, I think. So maybe in the future I'll do a video on how I DIY, hi kitty, my own E-Cig liquid. E-liquid. Okay, thanks for watching. I might come back with another video today because I'm waiting on the mail truck because I'm finally getting my own mod. This one is not mine. It's the hubby's, so I'm not even going to talk about it, but I'm getting my own, and it looks different. It's better. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.